and say I'm graduating from the University of East London, and during my studies I discovered that a major theory in psychology is complete rubbish, which didn't stop very large numbers of people writing about it and trying to tell people to live their lives by it. It claimed that people's emotions are governed by precise mathematical equations.
Precise mathematical equations?
Yes. The less you've studied psychology, the more obviously this is rubbish. But the nature of the scientific publishing process is such that when something like this gets published, it acquires an air of authority, and then people think it must be true, despite the fact that it was really, as far as I can tell, one of the researchers got duped by a snake oil salesman. It's actually very, very embarrassingly bad. There are lots of people in psychology kind of head face palming and going, how did this ever get published? People have been writing to me since. I'm getting mail now from cranks, because if I can prove that this bit of science, psychology as a science, is so wrong, I've got climate change deniers saying, well, therefore the climatologists don't know anything, and I've got creationists telling me that evolutionary biologists don't know anything. It's quite scary. It's embarrassingly bad. The closest I can think of it is the story of the Cottingley fairies. I don't know if you know that story. Okay, in the early days of people owning cameras, there were two girls, I think the village was called Cottingley. Two little girls took their collection of dolls down to the fairy dolls, down to the back of the house, the garden, and filmed them, took photos of them, and said they'd seen real fairies. And these got published in the newspapers, and one or two very senior or figures in science at the time were taken in by this. And they said, oh wow, real fairies, it's photographic evidence. How could I possibly doubt that? Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a famous victim of this. And the story is about as plausible, the story in this article is about as plausible as the Cottingley fairies. But because it comes with the authority of science behind it, people believed it and signed up for it and started applying it. That paper has been published, it's being commented on, and it's causing a little bit of a stir in academic psychology. So, what makes you click? You sure? Watch this program and see if you still think the same.